Yeah, so this show, I need to update my schedule on Twitch. I think it had it set for 7:30. And so I don't think too many people knew that I was going to be doing a Twitch stream today at 4 p.m. Pacific time, which that was kind of like a last minute decision. I wasn't even sure that I was going to have a show today because honestly, there isn't much news, but I'm kind of doing it just because, you know what? It's actually easier for me to just do a 20-minute show than it is for me to explain why I didn't have a show. It's easier for me to just get up on here and do like a 25-minute deal and then bounce the hell out of Dodge than it is to explain why there was no show. So Jay Devlin 22 is in the building. First in chat, what is up? Yeah, so today is 4th of July. So here in America, you know, kind of a holiday. Most people are out at somebody's backyard barbecue right now. Even if you're back east, you know, if you're in New York right now at 7 p.m., you're probably at somebody's backyard barbecue. And here over in the West Coast, I can tell you guys, here in Sacramento, god damn, it is hot as hell. It is incredibly hot in Sacramento. It's pretty darn hot. I don't know about incredibly hot, but it's pretty damn hot. But yeah, this is pre-show right now. We're just doing a little bit of pre-show here. And we have a few minor news stories that we're going to get into. Nothing super major, but at least we can say that we were here and we did a show. And, we'll feel good for it, right? We'll feel better. We'll feel better about doing a show. So that's the strategy. But no real shocking stories of the day. Let's see, what else can I mention real quick here in pre-show? You know, I played a lot of Trover Saves the Universe today. Yeah, I was thinking about Trover, and I thought I should probably go back into Trover. And so I actually got a little bit further in Trover. I got to a whole entire new world in Trover. And I was stuck in this one area where you have to keep killing these guys to get their body parts to go into some type of like brew thing. That was the level that I was on. And you have to grab like this brew pot and bring it with you to different places and kill these guys. But you got to make sure that when you kill the guys, they're close enough to where this brew pot is. And then their arms get chopped off or their legs or whatever, and they fly into this brew pot. And then you got to take that to some other, it's all kinds of weird, goofy stuff that they do in Trover Saves the Universe. But it's still a funny, entertaining game. I honestly should have gone back to it a long time ago. So I did get into a new area. Now, Jan Red 94 says, how long till I can sub? Actually, you know what? If I spent some time earlier today figuring it out, you would have been able to sub today. But hopefully prior to Sunday's episode. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my God, blast off. Yeah, and so it's probably going to start over and go back to 5. But yeah, I'll go ahead and grab, whoops, I'm in the wrong thing. Yeah, see, it went back to 5 because I'm in the wrong spot here. So let me just grab a miscellaneous kind of a trailer and throw it on the screen as background noise for now. Okay, so talking about the sub thing. So basically, I've qualified for all of the affiliate stuff that I needed to hit. And then what happens is they have this thing called affiliate onboarding, which is basically you have to go through like a 5-step process before you're officially an affiliate and can have subscribers and all that stuff. And I'm actually like on step 4, and I would have gone through all 5 steps, but the thing that I was going through was crashing and it wasn't working, and it kept jacking up on me. So I basically have to go back in there, figure that out. Hopefully I don't have to contact somebody at like Amazon support or something like that. But I got to imagine it's probably a trillion times easier to get a hold of somebody from Amazon related to Twitch and related to this type of situation rather than, say, Google and AdSense, where you simply will not talk to a human being. It is kind of unfortunate. Now, in chat, let's see who is showing up in chat. We got Jay Devlin was the first to arrive. Slay Blaze is in the building. Conquer Reality saying happy 4th of July. The VR Mang, not to be confused with Lambo Mang. We got Hussein X. He is in the building as well. I'm not going to pronounce what his thing is there, but it's something something 9, something something 9. Mate 9, May 9, I don't know. Mahay 9, Mahalo. You know, you go to Hawaii, everybody says Mahalo. Okay, Slay Blaze says happy birthday USA. We got Lethal Kill, Lethal E Kill, and VR Spry Guy checking in, and JA66A is checking in as well. JanRed94 says something in the internets does not want you to get monetized. Yeah, no, there's like a curse. I think what happened, guys, is I was like born on an Indian burial ground. And ever since that happened, like my hospital was on an Indian burial ground. And so I was born at the site where Little Bighorn lost his life. No, but something happened. Something did happen. I have been cursed where money, it seems like it's so hard for money to find its way to me. It really is bizarre. Like it's actually... it's beyond like synchronistic and coincidental. It really is kind of crazy. Okay, so Jan Red in chat says he heard Rogan isn't good. Ouch. Yeah, you know, that is a big fear that I had. Hussein X says he bought Rogan on pre-order as well. And so I don't know. I guess we might have to see some more impressions. You know what I needed to do today, and I forgot about it. Oh yeah, VR Spry Guy and somebody else earlier said, "Did I feel the earthquake?" VR Mang, was I affected by the earthquake? Yeah. So I guess there was an earthquake in Southern California, a 6.4 on the Richter scale. I did not feel anything. I don't believe. Although I heard like a loud firework go off at one point earlier today. But I doubt that was like, I don't know what time exactly the earthquake hit, but I'm in Northern California. We're pretty far away. It would kind of like be in very southern England, like an earthquake happening, and like somebody in Northern England, would they feel it? Probably not. So no, I did not feel the earthquake, and I am okay. All right. The big worry though that you do have with that 6.4 earthquake in Southern California is being a California native. I'm about to be beach property, baby, because, you know, half of California is going to fall into the ocean, right? I mean, people have predicted this for the longest time, that California is going to have some just ridiculous earthquakes at some point. I think it's guaranteed within about a 200-year period, that it's basically a guarantee that there's going to be a massive, like 9 point something type of earthquake in California. And when you have a 6.4 earthquake like this, sometimes you just wonder if it's like obviously not an aftershock, but like a pre-thing to some much bigger earthquake that could possibly come further down the line. I mean, obviously I hope not. That would definitely suck. I remember when they had that big earthquake in San Francisco. Remember there was like the World Series? What was that, like 1989? I think I was living in San Diego when that happened. And like the Bay Bridge, like parts of the Bay Bridge collapsed and freaking cars were... Could you imagine? I mean, that would be being inside a disaster movie. I mean, not funny. This is not funny, but seriously, for somebody that was on the Bay Bridge when a friggin' major earthquake happens and part of the Bay Bridge freaking collapses and it goes down like this and cars are going down there to where the cars are going the other way. I mean, how freaking crazy would that be? Yeah, it's funny because we think everything is fine. We think we're safe. We think everything is going to be perfectly okay. But the truth of the matter is there's all kinds of natural disasters that could potentially happen at any time. I mean, there's a lot of people that are they're in the middle of the United States, right? You know, they're in the middle of the country, and there's all kinds of like tornado possibilities that are all throughout those states there. Of course, if you're in Florida, if you're in Louisiana, if you're in Texas in certain parts, you know, like the Gulf of Mexico, you got hurricanes that can hit all over there. There's earthquakes potentially in California. I think there's even, like, I believe that there are scientists, don't quote me on this, but like if you lived in Seattle, is this incorrect or not? But I thought I heard somewhere that basically Seattle is going to be completely destroyed in the next 200 years. Like that's another 200-year thing where it's like damn near guaranteed that Seattle is going to be completely destroyed. And maybe Portland, Oregon, could be completely destroyed in the next 200 years. And it's because of a massive tsunami. Like they're expecting, like it's just going to happen. There's going to be a massive tsunami that is going to hit the Pacific Northwest, and it could destroy Seattle. It could destroy Portland. And I think it's pretty much a lock at some point in the next. Could you imagine you're living in Seattle and you're like, yeah, it's pretty much guaranteed that this city is going to be completely destroyed. And Seattle is a beautiful city. Has anybody ever been to Seattle? I've been there a couple of different times. I mean, I went in the summertime, so I mean, that's the time to go to Seattle. It wasn't raining every single day. It was beautiful, great city, great people. Love Seattle. Like Seattle is a place I could absolutely find myself living. And see, I went to Seattle a long time ago on a trip with my parents when I was a kid. And that's when I got into the Seattle Seahawks. That's like when I got into the whole Seattle Seahawk thing. Because I live in Sacramento, and people are like, dude, you're a Seattle Seahawks fan? You're living in Sacramento. How did you become a Seattle Seahawks fan? But I went on a trip way back when I was a kid, and I just fell in love with that city. And I think the Seahawks were playing, and everybody was playing, wearing Seahawks stuff. And I just got into the Seahawks, whatever, it happened. Okay, so let's get into the actual show. But yeah, there was an earthquake earlier today. That's why we're on this subject. Some people are wondering what's going on. Okay, so the first topic of the day, I'm going to go ahead and grab a trailer that I grabbed earlier. And I do believe I finally fixed 4K video downloader. So I've got actual 1080p trailers. But this trailer right here is Accounting Plus. This is on the Oculus Quest, and I just want to see what this looks like. Let's go ahead and take a listen to this and look at the graphics.
Right into the numbers.
You! Get out of my place! We got a new gang recruit, we'll call him Scooter!
Prove how fucked up you are if you want to join us.
Yes!
We summoned Satan!
The devil! Shit! That's my mom. Kill her!
Look like bones, man!
Load up the guillotine, Michael. Load it up.
Sounds just like Rick and Morty. I love Rick and Morty.
Okay, so that is Accounting Plus. It is available today on the Oculus Quest. Oh, now supporting Valve Index. Yeah, let's go ahead and advertise that as well. So throwing in a lot of little extra goodies there. Oh, that looks kind of cute. I wonder if you can buy those. But basically, this has hit the Oculus Quest today, and the price is $11.99, $12 for Accounting Plus, which is one of the first games ever on Oculus Quest under $15. Or wait a minute, is Accounting Plus a game? That's actually our question of the day. That is our question of the day. Is Accounting Plus a game? Does it qualify as a game? Now, personally, I thought Vader Immortal, did not qualify as an actual video game. I think it's too much of an experience and just a little bit of like interactive stuff going on. It's an interactive experience. I don't look at Vader Immortal as a legitimate game all the way through. It's a hybrid. And I think the same thing about Accounting Plus. I don't think it's a game. So I don't think this is our first game to drop under $15. I think we are still stuck at $15 is the cheapest game you can get on an Oculus Quest. There's nothing cheaper than that. But, you know, I'll throw that question out there. Is accounting a game? I don't think so. Looking at what some of the folks are saying over here in chat, Greg's VR says, bring on the apocalypse. Bring on the apocalypse. We've been regressing as a species for a few decades. Yeah, well, you know, what's that disaster report? Disaster Report 4, right? It's coming to the PlayStation VR. Speaking of earthquakes in VR, I mean, it's not a funny thing. I don't know. Maybe there were some people that died. I haven't actually, I heard there was an earthquake. I have not heard if anybody died or anything. 6.4 isn't that harsh, but it's not really a laughing matter. So I should probably be careful there. Jan Red says, damn, that plushie is cool. Yeah, and Hussein X says, Accounting Plus and Trover looks fun. Trover's a legitimate game. Trover is absolutely a legitimate game. So I do believe Trover is a game. Let's see. J. Devlin 22 says, it's not a game, it's an experience. And he says, there goes your pricing plan. No, it's sticking fine. Yeah, and I don't consider Vader a game either. So everything is fine right now. I'm still waiting for a legitimate Quest game that is less than $14.99. I don't think we have one. I don't think we have a legitimate Quest game that is less than $14.99. Okay, so we do have a news story to go to, and it is on Upload VR. So let's go ahead and bounce over to the webinar for the first time today. And I didn't actually, okay. So there's my webinar. Now, I'm going to just leave that box empty down there. Just go ahead and ignore that. But let's go ahead and click on this story here. There is a Batman VR skydiving experience that is coming to San Diego Comic-Con. So, you know, we've kind of seen some of these things that have happened. This is a collaboration between DC and AT&T, and they're bringing Batman back to VR headsets, but this is going to be an experience that you can have. It is part of the Dark Knight Dive, which is, it's a VR skydiving app in which Batman is in pursuit of longtime foe, the Scarecrow. And so you're going to be able to check out this experience at Comic-Con, which starts on July 18th in San Diego. Have you ever been to Comic-Con? I've never been there. I've heard it's kind of like a madhouse and crazy and like really, really crazy. But it would probably be kind of cool. But yeah, this experience, it says, this is far from Batman's first brush with VR. Rocksteady's Arkham VR is still one of the most polished VR apps out there. And there's a Justice League tie-in app as well. Let's see, where does it say? So, Scarecrow has released his fear toxin into the city, so you'll experience creepy hallucinations that bring some other classic Bat baddies and allies to life. And think about those awesome Scarecrow sequences in the Arkham games, only in VR while you are plummeting to your death. So, yeah, I always wonder, when they make these little tiny bite-sized experiences that they have at different trade shows, I always feel like, oh, maybe like 7, 8, 9 months later, it'll hit Steam and you'll be able to grab it and you'll be able to check it out in your own headset. But a lot of times it actually doesn't happen. I mean, it's probably like a contractual thing, and it has to do with the licensing and all that. And so I think a lot of times this stuff is set up where if you go to Comic-Con, you can have the experience there. They get the licensing for having it in a venue like that for exactly what it is. and they don't have the rights to be putting it on different platforms, or if they were going to do that, they'd have to charge money for it, and they don't feel like it's something they could really charge money for. So a lot of times we just never get these experiences. It kind of sucks in a way, but that is the reality there. Okay, I think our next story is actually on, no, is it Road to VR? Wait a minute. Maybe it's back on Upload VR. Let's go back to Upload VR. Let's see here. Yeah, I saw, or maybe I saw it on some other website somewhere. Oh, no, here it is. Yeah, Spider-Man. Okay, so this is also in the news. Now, would you believe that this Spider-Man Far From Home thing has been out for a long time? Like, how long has this been available? And guess what? I still have never gone into this. I downloaded it. I was going to go into it the same day it came out. I didn't get around to it, and I keep forgetting about it. Like today, I actually was in my Oculus Rift. And you know why I went into my Oculus Rift, guys? Let me break it down for you real quick. So I went into my Oculus Rift because I went to my Oculus Quest, because that's my thing, dude. I am a Quest gamer. And when I look to play a VR game, I actually reach for my Oculus Quest. It's back there. It's right in front of that firewall box. That's my Quest back there. I have a Studio Form VR cover thing that is going over the top, which I probably should talk about that. It helps a little bit. There is a little bit of extra comfort from the Studio Form thing, but I don't think it's worth like the drama of ordering it from Australia. Like, I got this for free, and I absolutely appreciate the fact that Studio Form VR, they actually, well, the guy that runs it, I believe, does support my Patreon, and he did send me a free one of these, and I absolutely appreciate it. But ultimately, I still feel like there's got to be a better, it helps, it does help, but I still think there could be something better, a better use of your money than probably getting that. And I feel like it helps. I mean, I've used it and I keep it on it. The Studio Form VR thing is always on my Oculus Quest, and it does help a little bit. I just don't know. Like, I won't tell people to run out there, oh yeah, you gotta order the Studio Form VR thing for your Quest from Australia. Order it right now. It's awesome. It helps. It does help, but I kind of think I need to do the Franken mod actually. But see, what happened is I went over to my Quest, and I was going to jump back into Journey of the Gods, which is kind of the game that I'm playing right now. It's kind of my jam. It's my go-to. And I was going to do Journey of the Gods, but my Quest was down to 8%. 8% on the battery life. So I had to charge it up for a couple of hours. So I came over here and I thought, you know what, let me jump into my Oculus Rift. And I thought, hey, you know, let's play some Trover. Haven't played Trover in the longest time, so decided to play Trover. So that's why I got back into my Oculus Rift today, which is kind of unusual. But I should have went into Spider-Man Far From Home. Still haven't played it. So anyway, why is this in the news? You know, why am I talking about it? I'm in the news because apparently Sony Pictures Virtual Reality is considering bringing it to the Oculus Quest, and also they're considering Valve Index support, which would be, you know, like finger tracking kind of support for Valve Index. And basically, SPVR Senior Vice President Jake Zim told Upload VR that we're definitely looking at it when asked about Index support. He says, we have had a large and very positive consumer response to the launch, including a lot of requests for a Quest build. We're considering all our options and are working with our developers and the platforms to figure out the best way to manage the demand. I don't know, based on what that quote is right there, I'd have to say it's going to be a while. Like, if this comes out on Oculus Quest, I don't think it's coming anytime in the very near future, unless they were already working on it already and he's just kind of like bullshitting right here. But if they're just kind of looking into it and considering it, I mean, it's going to take months for them to, I would think it would take somebody maybe at least a solid couple of months to port it over to the Quest. So we could be looking at this possibly in the fourth quarter. But, you know, the more the merrier, right, on these kinds of VR experiences, especially Spider-Man would have probably been a good experience to get this on the Oculus Quest. It is on the Oculus Store. I believe you can get Spider-Man Far From Home on the Oculus Store itself. So, you know, there is a relationship there with Oculus. So I do believe that that will probably happen at some point in the future. And then index support, you know, that's just for that's probably way easier for them to implement. Okay, another story that we have is Firewall 0 Hour is getting a brand new map. It might have already come. It's called Forward Operation Base, FOB, and it's set in Afghanistan, and it is free to anybody that has Firewall 0 Hour. And let's go ahead and go back over here to our standard scene. And I grabbed a trailer. Now, the full trailer for this Firewall update, it's like a 4-minute trailer. It's long and lengthy. But what I did was I just snipped out the part that shows off this new map. And they're talking about the new map. They also talk a little bit about the sound design. It only lasts about a minute. Why don't we go ahead and check that out together real quick? So let me go ahead and grab that. Yeah, if you're a Firewall guy, see, Firewall had major problems. Like, people were super pissed off about Firewall for the longest time. Like, the matchmaking was completely jacked up. And I believe that First Contact Entertainment, I believe that they finally have patched it and fixed it, and it's pretty much in a decent situation right about now. But let's go ahead and check out this clip that shows off FOB, which is a Forward Operation Base in Afghanistan during a sandstorm in VR, multiplayer action, you know, first-person shooter in a sandstorm. Looks pretty cool. So let's go ahead and check this out.
The idea for map really starts in the design phase. So basically the designers come up with an idea and they say, oh, that'd be cool, we should do a sandstorm. And everybody kind of laughed. And then everybody was like, well, wait, can we do a sandstorm?
There's something different about having a monitor in front of you versus fully immersing you in an environment where effectively your entire field of view is occupied.
Realistic rendering on PlayStation 4 in VR is actually very difficult to do, which is why most VR games tend to have like stylized graphics. I think there's a higher sense of believability in our new environments, and it's extremely inspired by real-world reference.
This is the first time I ever had to make the sound of a sandstorm. So that was pretty fun. The detail that we go into on the sound design, it feels like the space is alive. And it's like a tiny detail, but I've really seen how like those details bring the experience to life.
The idea for
Okay, so that's it. Yeah, just a pretty short clip there, but it does give us a quick look at this particular map, which is set in Afghanistan. It is called FOB, Forward Operations Base, and it is, you experience a sandstorm in action as you're going through the base. And so that does look pretty cool. So if you do have Firewall 0 Hour, you probably do want to fire it up. You probably do want to check out that map. I actually have Firewall 0 Hour, if you can believe it. But I almost never play it, and I still don't have PlayStation Plus. Now this guy right here, Dylan Island, if that is the guy that has always been working as their sound designer ever since this game was originally in development, dude, that dude needs a raise. That dude needs a raise like a mofo, because let me tell you, Firewall, if we talk about sound in VR, I don't know that I've heard, like, I'm trying to think, Firewall 0 Hour is probably in the top 5 best sound design in VR from what I've experienced. And if I'm wrong, let me know where I'm wrong. Explain to me what the other 5 games are that are better than Firewall Zero Hour, because the only VR game that comes to mind immediately that might be able to rival Firewall Zero Hour in terms of audio quality is Heart of the Emberstone. The Gallery Episode 2, Heart of the Emberstone, maybe rivals the audio quality of Firewall Zero Hour. It is outstanding, incredible audio design. And this guy's talking about how, it's the first time he ever had to do a sandstorm, but he's saying that it really draws you in. And from what I've experienced with Firewall Zero Hour, not really being this shooter type of guy, this is actually a decent excuse. It's a decent excuse for me to jump in there and maybe check out this map just in like a single player bot mode. And part of this update video, like I said, it's a 4-minute trailer where they kind of go over all the updates that they've been bringing to the game in all different areas, like the matchmaking has been improved and all that stuff. They cover all the different aspects of it. And one of the little sections, they start talking about that a lot of players actually don't play online against other people. They play against bots. They do the bots thing, which is what I do. I don't have PlayStation Play. I know it's stupid. Like, why do I have Firewall Zero Hour? I have it because I got the aim. I wanted the aim controller. I mean, I wanted the aim gun, basically, right? I wanted to get that, and Firewall was brand new, and it was exciting, and everybody was hyped on it. So I was like, yeah, might as well get the Firewall bundle. So yeah, anyway, that is Firewall Zero Hour. I don't know if we have anybody that plays it on a regular basis that is in the VR365 community. We do have a few PlayStation VR players in the VR365 community. Kevgret, I haven't seen Kevgret in a minute. But yeah, let's see what some folks are talking about here. Oh Free Will is in chat, says Quest is the best. Quest is awesome. I love the Oculus Quest. I really do. I wish I could play it for longer than about 35-40 minutes, but I really love the Oculus Quest. The VR Mang says, I can't stand when we categorize it as a game or experience. Games are experiences. Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. The VR Mang, I've got an excuse. I have an excuse because VR Game Rankings, the website, like when we first started VR Game Rankings, the website, we had different categories, and we had a section of the website that was dedicated to experiences, and we were ranking games, but then we were also ranking experiences. Now, truth be told, since the very first year I started doing the VR Game Rankings website, I've hardly worked on the experiences part of that website at all. So it is so outdated information from basically that first year that I started the website. I feel bad about it because I really wish I could dial in. There's lots of great experiences, and they should be ranked, and people should talk about these experiences, and they should give them a little bit more credit and a little bit more hype. And I just haven't done that. But that's why. It's my OCD. Like when we originally had accounting and stuff like even Waltz of the Wizard. I think Waltz of the Wizard, I always ranked it as an experience. I never ranked it as a game. And so I know it's kind of arbitrary, but like when you get into like making lists of things and you feel like you've got to have these categories, and then it kind of turns into an OCD thing, and I have a little bit of that OCD thing, so it's a problem. Zayla Maru says Sariento is his new favorite Quest game. That's awesome. And you know what? Shantomio from Holland, he's a PSVR guy. He also has a Quest as well, and he picked up Sariento on his Quest, and he said it was pretty good as well. So that's good. That's a couple of different people now that I've heard that have said that Sariento is quite solid. And Hussein X is saying the Lightsaber Dojo Invader Immortal is a great standalone game. You know, I haven't tried that. I've never tried the Lightsaber Dojo. Like, I've never done that. I should probably try that. Maybe I'd consider it a full-blown game at that point if I did finally try that. And VR Spry Guy says he's got to get back into Sariento. You know, I got into Sariento a long time ago. Erwin X, that was one of his favorite games. Like, he spent like hundreds of hours in Sariento VR doing all kinds of badass videos where he was doing some amazing stunts while he was going through Sariento VR. And I finally got Sariento VR at a certain point. I played it a couple of times over like 2 days, and it didn't really, I don't know, it just didn't really jive with me. And it wasn't bad. I didn't have a problem with it, but I just didn't fall in love with it. And I only played it a couple of times over like 2 days, and I've never played it again. And that's the story of so many games for me. Oh my God, it is so embarrassing. That is absolutely the story of so many games for me. It really sucks. So much stuff up. But, you know, there's always something new. Like, for example, like the Spider-Man thing. Like, I really need to play that. So it's kind of hard to go back into something old when I know that there's new things that I really kind of feel like I'm compelled to go back into some of these things. So also in the news is Orbis VR. And this actually happened a couple of days ago. We didn't cover it the day that this hit. But basically, there's good news if you'd like to try Orbis VR Reborn. Now, here's the downside. Unfortunately, I think you can only do this with the Steam version of the game right now. So those of you that have an Oculus Quest, and you'd probably would love to try out Orbis VR Reborn on the Oculus Quest up until level 10, 100% free. Unfortunately, you can't do that on your Oculus Quest, but you are able to do that on Steam. Whether you have an Oculus Rift, a Valve Index, HTC Vive, Windows Mixed Reality, or what have you, you can go to Steam and you can play Orbis VR Reborn all the way up until level 10. In fact, you can try like 8 different classes of characters, and you can go all the way up to level 10, which is nice because basically what it does is it really allows you, we're talking several hours of content really that you could go through to get up to level 10. Like, you could spend almost like a decent little weekend going through this. I've been in Orbis VR Reborn on the Oculus Quest. I actually have it via cross-buy because VR Roundtable, I believe we got a key for Orbis VR Reborn on the Oculus. Well, no, it was just Orbis VR on the Oculus Rift. We got a key a long, long time ago, and it's a cross-buy game. So we got the Oculus Quest version. And so I finally went in there. I did try it. The graphics are very simplistic. There was a lot of people walking around. I was trying to figure out just how to kill some basic enemies and to try to, you know, level up my guy. And I was in there for a little while, and then ultimately I bounced out of it. But it's okay. I mean, it's definitely a social experience. It's worth trying out. And so I think if you do have PC VR, like, it's a pretty decent deal here because this is a $40 game. People don't really want to have to refund stuff a lot of times. So it's nice to have this option where you can get this trial with the PC VR version. Jay Devlin says, I just got Orbis Reborn Friday, and he played a couple hours. He returned it this morning. It's just too much garbage. The fighting sucks, and that ruined it for me. Okay, Jay Devlin, was that on the Oculus Quest, or was that on, like, Steam or the Oculus Store? Where did you get it? Yeah, I mean, I wasn't a super fan of it. Like, I'm not really an MMO guy, but I do believe there is going to be a day where there is going to be an MMO that I'm probably really going to fall in love with, and it's going to be incredible, and it's going to swallow up my life. But I've kind of avoided them this long. I figure I might as well continue to avoid them. And eventually there's going to be an MMO type thing that is just so freaking incredible that it will be unavoidable, and I'll definitely jump into it. But this isn't really my type of thing. It's kind of a time sink. You know, you get into these games, they're a time sink. You pretty much go into them every single day. And really, it's more of a social thing than anything else. You know, you're kind of doing busy work, and it's really the social aspect of it. but it's fun. Some people really swear by them and they really love it. Okay, so Jay Devlin got it on the Oculus Quest. Yeah, I mean, it's $40, you know, it's $40 on the Quest, right? Pretty freaking expensive. Definitely not cheap. Okay, so let's go back to the webinar because we do have another story to go to on Upload VR. Let me see if I can find the story real quick before we switch over. Let's see. Or no, actually this story, excuse me, this story is on Road to VR. Okay, so let's go ahead and bounce over. And so over here on Road to VR, one of the big stories of the day is this, Rad TV by Ruffian Games. So apparently this Rad TV by Ruffian Games was something that got announced a long time ago, and it kind of disappeared into the mist. See, this original article was back on September 26, 2017, and actually I think I remember this. I think we saw the trailer way back in the days when this first was announced. And Rad TV was going to be this multiplayer game that featured like 2 to 6 players, and it was going to be kind of like a Mario Party kind of a thing, and it's like a lot of little mini games that you're going to play through. And it looked kind of funny and interesting. I mean, it looked, you know, halfway decent, right? And then it basically disappeared into the mist. I mean, it's almost 2 years ago now. And so this has just been updated. They just got an update on July 4th, and the game is on Steam now, and it has a launch date of August 2nd. So Rad TV is happening. Here is the Steam page for Rad TV. Shoot, eat, throw, slice, feed, hit, catch, and more in Rad TV, a local multiplayer VR. Wait, local? Oh, it's local? You have to have people in the same room as you? Or no? I'm not sure how that works. So Rad TV launch day revealed. Yep, so it's coming on August 2nd. And I went ahead and grabbed the trailer for this. So why don't we go ahead and check out the trailer. So we're going to go back over here. And I'm going to pump up the volume on Orbis VR, which has a great soundtrack, by the way. Grab Rad.
You think you can hide from me, boy?
Okay, so that is Rad TV. It is coming out. Unfortunately, they got the date wrong there. It's August 2nd, not February 8th. No, I'm just kidding. So they're doing it European style. European style for Rad TV. So yeah, obviously we're looking at this trailer here. It's a bunch of goofy mini games. But the good news here is I think the price is actually going to be relatively decent on this game. For example, we had Penn and Teller VR that just came out like a week ago, basically, or it was just last Tuesday that it came out, or very recently, I know. And that game's going for $20. And that's a collection of mini games. And I don't know if it's all that great. I believe this game, I think I read that it's like £7. So that's probably going to translate to basically $10, like $9.99. So probably $10 for a Rad TV multiplayer Mario Party style game that is going to be coming out on August 2nd by Ruffian Games. And yeah, this is the Steam page for it right here. So that is something that we could look forward to a little bit later on in the month of August. Okay, so, you know, some games, another game that is pretty popular that is on Steam here is, let me go ahead and just type it in for you and then I can show you what I'm talking about here, is Poker Stars VR. So PokerStars VR is very positive. People love this on a lot of different platforms. It's free, so why not? Why wouldn't you want to try it out? I've tried this game out and it works damn good. In fact, it is very impressive because you're basically in a real life poker game with other people. They're talking, they're pretty friendly. At least the games that I've been in have been pretty good. This is also, of course, on the Oculus Quest as well, so lots of people are playing it there as well. But there is going to be a new update that is coming to this game in the very near future, and it is the Space Update. So I went ahead and grabbed the trailer for this. Why don't we go ahead and check this out? So yeah, it is called the Space Update, and it is coming soon to PokerStars VR. And this trailer is pretty brand new. Like, it's just came out not that long ago, so you might not have even seen this trailer yet. But yeah, it is kind of just a little update content to PokerStars VR. So let's go ahead and check this out.
Acceleration. Roger. 1 minute 44 seconds downrange, 7 miles, 12 miles.
Oh, so that's available now. So I guess the the game is available now, but is the Space Update already out? But yeah, it looks pretty fun. I mean, you know, it's basically just adding a little bit of extras. It's not changing the game dramatically. You know, it's just a few accoutrements that are going on as you play the game. The backgrounds and some of the little things that are, you know, little UFOs that are kind of floating around, little robots in the backgrounds, stuff like that. But, you know, a lot of games, like these games as a service, if you're going to be a game like Rec Room or you're going to be a game like PokerStars VR and you're trying to like build this community of players that are going to stay with your game and keep coming back to your game again and again, and then the idea is eventually you're going to figure out how to monetize it and how to get money out of all these people, or you're kind of doing it in the background as you go along. And if you're going to have a property like this, you got to keep bringing updates. You got to keep having new things, because maybe some people have played it. They're like, oh yeah, you know, I tried PokerStars VR and it was kind of cool. It was kind of fun. Oh, cool. There's this new Space Update. Oh, that looks kind of sweet. I'm going to hop back in there and check it out. And so Rec Room Against Gravity, they do this all the time, always adding new things. And now Lucky VR doing it a little bit with PokerStars VR, adding updates as well. So not sure if that is actually available right now. I don't know if you can actually do that right now, but that is out there. Let's see. VR Spry Guy says, wouldn't your poker chips float away when you throw them on the table? Yeah, no, I mean, well, it's not like everybody's floating around in midair. So obviously inside this facility, you know, they're doing some kind of artificial gravity. So they don't really have to worry about that. And VR Spry Guy says, Rad TV looks like it could be fun. Yeah, it could be. I mean, it depends on the mini games. You know, you get 25 mini games or whatever, you got to hope that there's enough of those mini games that work for you. Also, if you have young kids, see, that's the other factor, and I don't really consider this very much. If I was like Gary or Steve of VR Roundtable and my kids were much younger see, I've got grown-ass teenagers. One of them is going to community college. The other one is going to be like a junior in high school. So these kids are, you know, they're not looking for little mini game collections. But if I had like a 10-year-old or a 9-year-old, it would be a bonus because you could buy something like that. You might play it a little bit, and then your 10-year-old might absolutely fall in love with it and want to play it a lot as well. So that's kind of nice when you have those mini game collections. That can also be a factor. Okay, so you know a game that I talked about a long time ago, and I've highlighted this game a number of times, and I've said that it was going to be coming to the Oculus Rift in the not too distant future. Well, we've got some information on it, so let's bounce over to the webinar, and here it is. Fulgol. I don't know how to pronounce this. I'm going to say it's Fulgol, like Fulgol, I'm guessing. Fugol, something like that, right? So this is going to be coming to the Oculus Rift. At first, I thought it was already available right now, but it says add to wish list. And then if you scroll down here, it says July 11th. So Fugol is coming to the Oculus Rift this July 11th. And you know what? There's a brand new trailer for it. So why don't I go ahead and grab that brand new trailer? I'm going to pump the volume up on PokerStars VR. And let's grab this trailer. Oh, I have not seen the deserts. Oh, man, I have not seen these environments either. Oh, shit, I never saw the snow. I didn't know they had snow. I got to check this out. Okay, yeah, so this is Fugol, which, again, we get back to, is this a game? Is this an experience? And I would say this is absolutely an experience. And so the interesting thing about this game is it uses voxels, I believe. I think the entire game, yeah, it says Fugol's worlds are unique voxel playgrounds. They are procedurally generated, yet carefully crafted with diverse levels to explore, from icy wind-blown caves to tropical paradises to great deserts and old-growth forests. Each environment is rich with diverse wildlife, hundreds of animals to find. And so every animal that you find, if you touch that animal, you turn into the animal. And it doesn't matter what the animal is. Like you can touch a monkey or a little kangaroo or something like that. It will fly. It'll start flying like a butterfly or whatever. You'll turn into whatever different animal and you just kind of fly. You're just basically flying through these worlds and flying through these environments. And the thing that I loved about this game, or the thing that I loved about this experience, and I hope it's going to be like, I hope the price is going to be pretty low for this. Like it should be like $9.99 or less, like $5.99 or something like that. I think it should be very cheap. I'm hoping it's very cheap. Like it should not be $15 or $20 or anything like that. It should be pretty darn cheap. But the cool thing about it is just the world, man. You've never, like, I don't know that I've ever experienced a video game world that seemed like it was more alive and teeming with things happening and moving around, like all around me, like way far away. Like it just, like you don't really see pop in. You don't see stuff popping in the background. And maybe it's because it's made out of voxels. Like the entire environment is there. And then also the sound design. I thought the sound design was pretty incredible in this game. It really sounds like you're in a tropical jungle. And we can kind of hear it in this trailer. Like if I turn up the volume here. You can kind of hear the sounds of the jungle. Let's just check it out for a second. I must have hit the end of it, maybe right here. That part looks really cool. That environment right there with the blue water and all that. Very tropical. But the sound design is really good. The visuals are pretty freaking captivating. I mean, drop dead gorgeous, beautiful, but kind of retro. Definitely kind of retro. There's going to be some people that would try this and they'll be like, you know, it's all pixelated, man. It's really retro, blah, blah, blah. Me, I was in this and I was like, wow, this is super cool. And I never even saw the snow areas or the desert areas. I was mostly just in like the rainforest area and the really tropical areas and kind of the forest type area. But I never saw the desert. I never saw the snow. So when I was in it, didn't check that stuff out. It's enjoyable. It's very peaceful. It's chill. It is very chill out and relaxing. This is a game that is going to do very well. I mean, this is an experience that is going to do very well in Denver, Colorado, okay? The amount of downloads in Denver, Colorado, compared to a lot of other locations, going to be a little bit different. I think also Portland, Oregon, the sales are going to be pretty good there as well. Maybe Seattle, sales will be pretty good. San Francisco, the sales will be pretty good, if you kind of get my drift here. But it's a chill out kind of a thing. It is kind of, you could almost like meditate or something down. I mean, like you can just kind of like, you know, if you've had a stressful day at work or something, you could just kind of like fly around these environments for like 10 minutes and just kind of chill the hell out and just kind of get in tune with nature. Kind of cool. So that is Fugol, and it is coming on July 11th, finally, to the Oculus Rift. Yeah, so, and this is like an Oculus exclusive for a little while. Like, I could go to Steam. If we go over here to Steam, Fugol is on Steam. It's on Steam right now, and you can see, okay, so its normal price is $10. It's on sale for $6. Do not buy this right away, though. Do not buy this right away, because the way I understand it is the VR mode for this game is only going to be on Oculus for a while, and eventually it is coming to Steam. So like you could buy this for $6 if you wanted to buy it on sale, and then maybe like by Christmas time the VR version is going to come to Steam, but I have no guarantees of that. So if you want to play the VR version, you're going to have to grab it on Oculus Store. But yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, it says experience the thrill of flying as you explore the natural beauty of a vast voxel world. Relax and feel as free as a bird as you create your own adventure with no time constraints or set goals. See, they could have gamified this though. Like, I think it would have been kind of cool if they gamified it just a little bit. Like, all they have to really do is like give you some different hoops and stuff that you have to fly through, where it makes little jingly noises and you get some extra points if you fly, you know, kind of pilot wing style, like flying through some different hoops. And then also maybe give some little things that you have to collect, like some little pieces that are scattered throughout all these environments, and you have to collect like 20 different pieces or something. They could gamify it to a slight degree. The only thing that really pissed me off about this experience when I had it is when you crash into something. Like, you might crash into a tree and then you're like stuck and you're kind of like under a tree, and then it takes a while. I think I did a Let's Play for this actually. So you guys, I have a Let's Play for this. So you could find a Let's Play for this that I have if you do want to check that out. All right, let's see. So I'm pretty much out of stories at this point. I told you guys a relatively light news day, but there is one story that is over on PlayStation VR subreddit. Let's go ahead and bounce over here. This is the PlayStation VR subreddit. Yeah, this guy is talking about immersion juice. Pro tip: long neck beer bottles require no headset adjustment for beer sipping. I don't know. You're probably really tilting back pretty damn far, even with the long neck. Don't know about that. Okay, but the one news story I did want to talk about real quick is if you're in the United States, Best Buy is having a deal on a number of pretty big PlayStation VR games. Now, these are actual physical copies, but Creed Rise to Glory, you can get the physical copy for $20, but there are some Best Buys where you're actually going to get these for like $15. But it says $20 here, but some of them you might be able to get it for $15. So that's Creed Rise to Glory, Astrobot, Rescue Mission. This one is $20 at Best Buy as well, but some people did find it for $15 at certain Best Buys, so I guess it kind of depends. Or $15.99. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's $15.99 if you have like their GCU, which is like their little club. Like if you're part of the Best Buy club, like the Gamers Club or whatever. Okay, so never mind. So these are all $20, but if you're part of their gamer club, it's $16. But Tetris Effect, physical version, $20. So, you know, it's kind of nice to have a physical version actually, because if you have a physical version, you know, when you're done playing it, you can give it to somebody else. You can possibly sell it or whatever. I was just seeing if there was kind of anything else that was going on here on the PSVR subreddit, but not really seeing much of anything. So that's pretty much it. But anyway, I need to bounce out of here. Anyway, it's pretty much been about an hour, and this is a little bit of a shiz show, but you know what? Wanted to get a show out there. So that's pretty much going to do it. Let me go ahead and check what anybody's saying in chat, if anybody is saying anything in chat. So going back over to chat here, and John Pros 1 says, hey, what's up? How long has the stream been going? And Slay Blaze is letting him know it's been going for about 50 minutes, which means it's almost done. Oh, Erwin X, check this out. So Erwin X is selling his index on eBay because he got his Valve Index, and the problem is, see, he's all about Skyrim. It is all about Skyrim for Erwin X, and he's got like 1 million mods that are running simultaneously when he is playing Skyrim. And he was telling me, in fact, let me see, I probably have his message. I can probably actually read his message on what he was telling me here. Let me see if I can find where he said it. Because he was talking about, he says most of Skyrim is dark areas with small light sources. So it's like a mostly dark area that has a small light source, and he's saying that's where glare is most noticeable on the Valve Index. And he's a Skyrim guy, man. That's all he plays. So I kind of understand why he decided, why he's not a fan of the Valve Index. And he put his Valve Index on eBay. He said, F it. He put his Valve Index on eBay, and he's saying me that it basically went to like $1,400 or something like that. So he's actually making like a pretty good profit off of it, and he might be able to buy himself a Rift S for free out of the deal. He does have a Rift CV1. But yeah, so he's kind of in a special situation because he's like, he plays Skyrim all day long and pretty much every day. Like, he spends most of his time in Skyrim VR doing all kinds of different things with all the different mods and everything. And so the glare is especially bad in that game, at least for him it is. And so it was no bueno, so he had to let it go. But the good news is he's getting pretty good money for that on eBay. So anyways, seeing what some folks are talking about in chat here. So John Pros 1 is like, what is that? Is that Fuji? Slay Blaze says, close, it's Fulgor. And John Pros 1 says, it's kind of like Eagle Flight. Onikaze says, just got here. Any update on the VR release? Yeah, the reason we're talking about it, Onikaze, is Fulgor is coming out on July 11th. There is a brand new trailer for it. It's not the most exciting trailer in the world, but we did check out that trailer. It's coming on July 11th. I don't know how much it's going to cost, but the Steam version is $10. The Steam version is on sale for $6 right now, but don't buy the Steam version because it's not going to have VR for a while. If you want VR, you got to grab the Oculus Rift version initially, and then eventually the Steam version will have VR. VR Sprite Guy says, I'm getting hungry. I feel like I could eat 71 hot dogs. Okay, yeah, they do the hot dog eating contest every year. That is some of the nastiest stuff ever. You know, they dip it in water and stuff, like they're dipping like the hot dog buns in water and they just stuff it down. Oh man, that has got to be, it's got to be one of the worst things you can do. Stuffing like 71 hot dogs in you. Oh God, your body is probably like, what the F are you doing? Why are you doing this? John Pros 1 says, what do you think of the port of Population 1 VR to Quest? Will it be good? I don't know. We have not seen video footage of that. I would love to see footage of, I'd love to see a game trailer of the Oculus Quest version of Population 1. You know, speaking of Population 1 in the first damn place, when is that game ever going to come out? Because we've heard about it for a long time. I thought we originally heard that Population 1 was a first quarter 2019 game. It never came out in the first quarter, and then we really didn't hear anything else about Population 1 ever since then. And, you know, I can go to the Steam page real quick and see what it says. Let's just double check what it does say for Population 1 right now. But I'd have to imagine that the Quest version, Population 1. Oh, wait, maybe Population 1 doesn't have a Steam page. Yeah, Population 1 doesn't have a Steam page. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, when are we going to get the regular Population 1? I kind of thought it was going to be a summer release. I mean, we still got more summer to go. You know, summer goes all the way into late September. But I wonder how watered down is it going to be on the Oculus Quest? You know, is it going to be ridiculously watered down? I got to imagine it's going to be pretty watered down, but I still think it will be pretty cool. We'll have to see. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much going to go ahead and do it. Yeah, Phil Yarn is talking about that Fugel is going to go up against Defector head-to-head on July 11th. Yeah, I don't think Twisted Pixel is going to be too worried about their sales for Defector on that day. But you can kind of look at it as counter-programming. You know, it's kind of counter-programming. Like, it's completely opposite. It's like when the Super Bowl is on, they have, like, the Puppy Bowl or whatever. You know, it's counter-programming. So Fugel will be good counter-programming for when Defector launches. And Zayla Maru says, I got to hurry up and beat Blood and Truth before Defector launches. Actually, that reminds me, I got to get my butt back into Blood and Truth. A lot of people talk about Blood and Truth like it's their game of the year. I don't know. I like Blood and Truth. It's impressive. I got to get back into it. John Pros 1, do you think Pimax can compete with Index at about the same price? I don't think so. But, you know, a lot of people that have Indexes with the sword controllers, yeah, no, I don't think so. But the thing about it is, one of the things that we've kind of come to understand with the Valve Index, it's a very good headset by all measure, but it has a few negatives. You know, it does have, like, there's some people out there that just aren't 100% in love with their Valve Index. Like, not everybody that gets a Valve Index is like, oh my God, it's amazing. A lot of people get it and they're like, it didn't really blow me away. Like, it's better. It does a lot of nice things, but it doesn't really blow me away. We've heard that from a lot of people. John Shrubuk in our Discord community has said that he just cannot stand the Valve Index controllers. Like, he just doesn't like the knuckle style controllers. And he's actually looking forward to those sword controllers. He wants those sword controllers because he does not like the knuckles, the Valve Index controllers. He doesn't like them at all. We've heard other people that are completely turned off by the glare. We've also heard some people complain about going from an Oculus CV1 and going to the Valve Index and losing out on asynchronous space warp. giving that away, and then sometimes your performance isn't going to be as good. So I don't know. I'm supposed to get my Valve Index Monday, and it's going to be very interesting when I finally dig into my Valve Index and play around with it and check it out. And I'm going to try to like hold off and not have an immediate take on it right away. I want to slowly, I don't want to respond to, I'm just going to be like, you know what? I've been playing my Valve Index. I'm going to give it a couple of days. I want to try to give it like 3 days before I make any kind of judgment about anything, because I worry that I'll just rush to judgment. I want to try to chill out, try to relax, because that's what I'm asking everybody else to do. So I got to try to do it myself. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and bounce out of here. It's coffee time for me. I'm going to get my afternoon coffee, and I will check you guys out next time. So that's going to go ahead and do it for this Twitch broadcast of VR365. We will be back on YouTube tomorrow on Friday, probably maybe 4 p.m. on YouTube, maybe 3 p.m. on YouTube. So a possible 3 p.m. Pacific start tomorrow, maybe. I can't guarantee that, but maybe about 3 p.m. Pacific. So an hour earlier on YouTube tomorrow. Remember, Friday and Saturday, both on YouTube. And then we come back to Twitch on Sunday, and it's our earliest Twitch stream of the week at about 11:30 a.m. on Sunday. We'll be back on Twitch, and hopefully I will be 100% affiliate by that time, and you'll be able to do your Prime sub if you want to do it, and that would be incredible. That would be awesome. It's kind of the reason I went over to Twitch in the first damn place. But yeah, I'm going to be out of here, folks. I will check you guys next time. So everybody have a wonderful 4th of July day. If you got tomorrow off from work, if you're in the USA and you got, you're off on the 4th, you got the 5th off from work, it's an awesome 4th of July weekend for you. I got to go back to work tomorrow. Luckily, not as many hours as I was working Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So that's why I might be able to do a 3 p.m. episode tomorrow on YouTube. But I'll see you guys then. So everybody have a wonderful Thursday. See you guys tomorrow. Take it easy. Later.